back, doing stories.
Yeah. We got some, it's been a little bit since I've been on, huh? It's been like
It has.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think so.
Damn, it's been a fucking month. Life's been fucking hectic.
Yeah, and there's no slowing down with inventory and all that bullshit coming up.
Yep, the real horror stories are the friends we made along the way.
Right.
Yep, so we're back for another goddamn episode of Tales from Helheim. What do we have on the docket today, my good friend?
Well, after taking a trip on a vacation that we took up to a mountain / kind of foresty area,
Yeah.
and looking down a road that looked very creepy, we have decided that we needed to do mountain and or forest horror stories.
Oof. Alright.
So what do you have, my guy?
I have two, actually. I went above and beyond this week.
Oh,
But they're
shit.
both going to be very shittily told. So strap on.
Strap on and get ready, or strap in and get ready, one of the two.
I meant
Grab
to say
your-
strap in, my bad.
grab your strap on and get ready.
This first one takes place at the strap-on factory.
Right?
No. So, my bad. I'm sorry. It's been a bit of a long day today. But
It has.
yeah. It's been a fucking nightmare. But I have... Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
I mean, I can go first if you want.
Yeah, let's do you first.
All right. So, mine is, I don't go camping anymore. It started as a normal camping trip for me. I was 13 at the time, and I was the loner of my life and enjoyed being alone and going on little trips into the woods and doing dumb reading and other things. And I did like to leave in the middle of the night and hide among the trees, thinking I was a ninja or something. But I went out to play in the trees, and I did have to come back because it was dark. And when everyone was asleep, I snuck out to see the creek. It's beautiful seeing the creek in the moonlight. And so I was walking there, I was supposed to be asleep, and it wasn't very bright. And realizing I had no idea where I was, I stopped because I heard crunching behind me. I looked and I saw a mountain lion inching a good 30 feet to my left side away. I stumbled and tripped. I noticed it had heard me fall and stared right at me. Screaming, I jumped and ran, not knowing if it was going to follow me into a small graveyard, and I fell over a tomb. I felt an ice-cold hand grab me rough by the wrist, and then I was yanked to my feet, and I was pulled, and the mountain lion jumped out of the trees and headed right for me. I was yanked way back to camp, fell about 15 feet from the fire when I heard my rescuer yell, "You stupid-ass motherfucker." And I look up and say, "I love you," to Beth, realizing it was my older sister. She had been trailing me like she does when I leave to make sure that I'm safe. She had noticed someone in the graveyard, and not the animals, but a large man figure in a hood walking my way fast, and jumped in. So if it were not for my sister, I wouldn't even be alive. If she doesn't know how much she saved my life, then I don't know how to repay her. Then she looked into my eyes and said, "Not a word about this to Mom." I shook my head, knowing we would never tell anyone of our trip in the woods, that horrible camping trip. So not only was homeboy being chased by a mountain lion,
Yeah.
but there was also something there, be it paranormal or just fucking deadly.
To quote the pot from Beauty and the Beast, there's something there that wasn't there before. It was a mountain lion. That's fucking crazy. This dumb motherfucker almost got killed twice.
Yeah, all because he wanted to wander off alone, which is something you never want to do.
When you're camping, of all things. What the? You never seen the Blair Witch Project?
Right? And at the age of 13, like, you don't just wander off alone, wander off in a group.
Like, hey, let me take off real quick without telling anybody where I'm going.
I'll be back maybe if I don't die.
If I'm not mutilated.
Right?
Jesus.
Yeah, you never know what the hell's gonna happen.
Fucking idiot.
There's a lot of those these days.
Yeah, that's a very unfortunate story. Being that dumb, I feel bad, but you kind of deserve whatever happened to you.
Right.
All right.
So what do you got, Mr. Duffy?
So I'm going to read you just the first sentence of this first story, and then I'm going to check to see if you know what the fuck it is, all right?
All right.
I live right next to the Navajo reservation, and I made friends with many of the people there my age.
Skinwalker.
Yeah, buddy. I live right next to the Navajo reservation and have made friends with many of the people there my age. We like to hang out, play video games, and just be normal teens. I walk over a lot since my best friend lives a little less than a mile away from me. This isn't a long trek and usually only takes me about 25 to 30 minutes. I've made this trip dozens of times and have grown very comfortable with it. I know the people along the way, so I'm not scared or on edge. There's a patch of forest, however, about midway there. It's a little unnerving sometimes. There's always this feeling that being watched. This is a regular occurrence for me, so I try to just ignore it and shake it off as my mind playing tricks on me. It's a great song, too. This day I spent more time at my friend's house than I meant to, and when I left it was already getting dark. I reached a stretch of forest right as the sun disappeared from the sky. I shivered a little as I readied myself to begin the journey through. I was 10 steps in when I heard a branch snap. You know, the sound, the one that screams there's definitely someone or something around you. I froze, not sure of what I should do next. Should I run? Should I turn around and book it back to my friend's house? I didn't know what the best option in the situation. I whispered, "Hello?" Hearing my voice crack as the words fell from my lips, and I don't know why I even opened my mouth, but it was out there, so I listened for any reply. My heart sank when the answer came back in the sound of my voice. "Hello?" I started to breathe too fast. My heart pounded against my chest. I felt like I might faint. "Hello?" My voice came again, but not from my mouth. I wanted to run, but my feet felt like cement to the ground. I couldn't scream. I couldn't reply as my voice echoed over and over from a short distance away. I couldn't pinpoint exactly where it was coming from. It sounded like it was everywhere around me. "Hello? Hello? Hello?" It repeated. "Stop it." I finally managed to tear from my lips. Everything went silent. For a long minute, nothing happened. The air grew stale, and I realized for the first time that there was no typical forest sounds. There were no bugs, no frogs, no crickets, nothing. I stood there terrified, waiting to see what would happen next. "Stop it," it mimicked back. I had had enough and was willing my heavy legs to move. Before I could take a step, I heard rustling in the bushes 20 feet to my left. I watched in horror as a deer head with huge antlers protruded through the bush. As it came further out and stood up on two limbs, I took off. I flew out of those woods and all the way home in record time. I said nothing to my mom when I got there. I just went up to my room, laid down, and thought about what happened. My mother came in at some point and asked me if everything was all right. I replied yes. I was just tired. I don't know why I didn't tell her. I guess I might have been afraid of how she would react. I called my friend and told him everything. He freaked out and told me that no matter what happened that night, not to reply or look out my window. This terrified me even more. He said to call him in the morning and he would explain more, and that he had to speak to his grandfather as soon as possible. That night I didn't sleep at all. I stayed awake listening to every little sound the night brought. Around 3:30 a.m., just as I was about to drift off, the air changed. The night sounded quieted. I felt my heart begin to pound. I lay there and waited, pulling the covers over my head like a child, too scared to move. It came after a long moment. "Hello?" I cried. It was all I could do. "Hello?" "Stop it," it mocked what I was saying. It mimicked me what I said in the woods. I was terrified enough that when it copied what I said, but then it did something new. It called my name. "Amy." My mother's voice came from the window. "Amy, Amy, come here." Hello? Stop it, my voice again. For the rest of the night, the creature outside my window called my name in my mother's voice and repeated what I said in the woods over and over and over. In the morning, when the sun broke through the dark, it finally stopped. I fell in a fitful sleep. I woke around 12 to my friend calling to tell me he had spoken to his grandfather and could explain what happened to me. He said there was a creature they called Yinaldush Dalushi. That's a hard word to say. Yinaldalushi. He who goes on all fours. Or a skinwalker. He explained that it was an evil witch that used dark magic to transform into an animal with the attributes it required, and that it had caught my scent and knew me now. I was also given a warning that since it knew me, it would always follow me, that I would always have to be careful. Last night I heard scratching on my window, then a low hum. The creature began saying my name again, but also adding in things I hadn't said in my mother's voice. At one point it started calling my name, but drawing it out really far, like, Amy. It tried to get me to come outside or to open the door and let it in my house. This went on all night. At this point, I feel like I'm going crazy. I don't know what to do. Is it seriously going to stalk the shadows around me for the rest of my life? I don't think I could take it. So that is the story of how this lady it's not even a lady, it's a kid. It's fucking insane, dude.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Are you a huge cunt?
Us too. Wait, can we even say cunt?
Of course! It's empowering these days. Cunt, 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 cunt. I'm Ange Ballastone, aka the drag queen, That Girl Gina.
And I'm Mike Fales, just a normal gay guy, I guess?
And we're the hosts of The Big Cunty Couch.
A gorgeous new talk show podcast where we invite queers and peers to sit, bitch, and be fierce on a huge-ass couch.
While we gab about all things gay.
So come get cozy.
And cunty.
With us. We're panned for platforms, so find us anywhere online and get listening, sweetie.
Or watching.
Or both.
Otherwise, why the hell am I in full drag?
And we'll see you on the big... Oh, wait. I thought we were going to say that together.
No. On the Big Cunty Couch. Mwah.
Well, what's funny is, we've seen videos where you hear, or at least I've seen videos where you hear someone and they're talking and then they hear a noise and they hear their own voice.
There's a whole thing on TikTok. I know you hate TikTok, but there's a whole fucking page where it's this guy just like riding around on like horseback or like on his ATV near like that Skinwalker Ranch. I know it's more alien-like and all that shit, but he has a lot of videos with that shit where it's like just a very like monotone voice going, help me, help me, help me. And they like the horse starts like freaking out even before you can hear the voice.
I think I've seen one of those videos, but
I'm gonna pinpoint a bunch of them just so I can show you.
Yeah, because I saw something like that on YouTube.
Yeah, but that's not even the worst one though, because that one, the horse, like he knew something was wrong before you even hear anything. Like it starts getting all giddy and like fucking like kind of like, what do you call it, like pacing around. And you hear the voice. It's going, help me, help me, help me. But it's like off to the distance.
Yeah.
So the guy turns the horse around and starts riding away. You can hear it saying, no, come back, please. I was like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, at that point, you just ride and do not turn around.
Yeah, dude, there's another one.
Don't look, don't sniff, don't talk, don't burp, don't fart, don't do anything in its direction.
There's another one I think I showed you before. It's that dude, he's walking up to that little cabin in like the forest. It's like a little dilapidated cabin. It's like falling apart and shit. Mm-hmm. And when he starts getting close to it, his dog starts like freaking out. Starts barking at the thing.
Yeah.
And the thing, like, if it was like over the fucking radio, like real, like fucking just lifeless. Like if you use like Google, like, you know how it's like, hey, my name is like that.
Yeah.
It says, hey, come here, come closer. And like you see something like shift inside the barn because it has like the fucking, like I said, it's falling apart. So you like planks are falling so you can like kind of see the light coming through.
Yeah.
And it like fucking like runs from one side to the other. And then it stops by like where the door, like the side of the door. So, like if you were to open the door, it could just like off the side catch you. And that dude like turns around, he's like, fuck that. And he starts walking away and says, no, come back. Like, please come back. And I was like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, I'd rather not get, murdered alive by a skinwalker and then have it take on my form.
Yeah.
Just fucking fool everybody, and then everybody's gone.
Yeah, but like they're always saying, like skinwalkers are like when they take their form, you can always tell there's like something off about the animal. Which we have like a bunch of skinwalker episodes if you guys want to go back and listen to them.
I mean, it's one of those things that just down here,
It's one of my favorite topics.
you know, down here there's a couple primary reservations that are fairly close, and you know, it's not anything that's avoidable. It's bound to happen, you know, where there's superstition or where there's people that kind of go into or create that kind of juju and shit. Like it's bound to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of like you fuck around with it, find out.
Yeah, basically.
Speaking about fucking around and finding out, you ready for the next one? It's not a story as it is more of a topic that I wanted to bring up. See if you've ever heard of it.
Well, let's hear it.
So, I was like looking through trying to find like some kind of like scary story for this episode.
Yeah.
Like forest based, mountain based. I kept coming across one specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, what I came
Penis.
across, no. But what I came across was people finding these like abandoned staircases in the middle of the forest. Not like near the edge of the forest, like deep in the center of the forest, like surrounded by trees and shit.
I've seen not a lot on it, but I have seen some stuff
You've
on
come
it.
across,
Heard
yeah.
some stuff, but not enough to where I've dug into it yet.
Yeah, where it's like different types of like staircases. Like they're usually stone, but it's like stone staircases going up or like dilapidated ones. Some people have found like the metal ones for like lighthouses, those spiral upwards.
Yeah.
They've seen a bunch of those, and it's always just a general consensus. What have you heard on it?
I mean, like I said, I haven't delved into it really.
Oh, you just
so-
kind of like stumbled upon it for a bit. And just
Yeah,
kinda
I
moved-
saw it, was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's interesting. I'll have to read on it later, and then later never came.
So let me ask you this: you're walking through the forest, right? Well, with the mountain where we went, it's surrounded by trees, a little forest, kind of like a big patch away from the road. You can't really see people. You see a staircase just in the middle of the forest, surrounded by trees. What's your first move?
Walk up to get a better view of the forest and take a nice picture.
That would be the wrong answer, my friend.
And why is that?
General consensus is you don't go up the stairs. You get away from them as fast as you can.
Why?
So a lot of people believe that this is like the majority of like why people disappear in the forest. You know how they like, oh, missing like person in the forest. They went for a hike around this part where they know so very well. They've hiked it a million times. And then the forest rangers and the police are like, they search like 25 fucking miles of like around that area, never find the person.
Yeah.
So the general consensus is you don't go on them because it's one of two things that people believe in. That it's some form of portal to like a different dimension. You go up, you're going to go end up in a different reality. Or it's a stairway kind of leading to hell. So I'm not too far sold on the hell one, but the dimension one makes a little bit more sense to me.
Well, yeah, because if it was a staircase leading to hell, you think it'd be going into the ground.
Everybody
then
knows
just-
it's a highway to hell.
Yeah,
A
exactly.
stairway to heaven. But yeah, so a lot of people think it's kind of like, you see Harry Potter, right?
Yeah.
You remember the port key?
Yep.
Like you touch it and then bam, you're gone. The thing disappears with you. A lot of people think it's that. Because a lot of people try to like, they give you directions on, oh, I saw the staircase in the woods at this location. Like just follow this, this, and this. Like 20 paces by the bear statue in the woods. You take the instructions exactly how it is. No staircase. Nobody ever finds it again.
So my question is, when is someone going to go out with a group of people looking for a staircase, successfully find said staircase, and then from there have one person go up it or attempt to go up it?
I don't know, man. Because that's the whole thing. They come out like randomly. Like I said, they're never going to be in the exact same place. You'll never find them in the same place that you found them before. But as soon as somebody's dumb enough to step on them, they're fucking boop. There's an encounter. Well, not encounter, like a story where this guy, he was gonna go like on this fucking trail that he always goes on. Like he's told his wife, like, hey, I'm going down this place. And he was even like on the phone with her. And he tells her about the staircase in the woods. Like, oh, it's like right off the path where we always go. Like it's by the tree where we carved our initials in or some shit like that. It's like right by it. Sent her a picture of it. He's on the phone with her when he calls, and then she just hears like static, and the call drops. She tries calling back, no answer. She waits a couple hours, no answer. Keeps calling him, no answer. She decides to drive out. His car's there, like in the fucking little parking lot where they always park. Can't find him. Calls the police, calls the fucking rangers and all that shit. They spend months trying to find this guy. They do like a giant fucking sweep of the forest, like acres and acres of the forest, like around where he's at. Nothing. They decide, they're like, oh, well, let's try this spot over here that's like 100 fucking miles away from like where this thing's at. Like on the other side of the fucking mountain. On the fucking mountain range. It's like, there's no way he could get up here. Like, it's fucking all trees, whatever. But, they look through there and they find his body, like, in a high up fucking spot where he wouldn't have been able to make it unless you're, like, an expert fucking climber.
Yeah.
They find his body there. It's fucking, looks preserved. Like, nothing happened. Well, it's only been, like, a day or two or some shit like that. Like, a couple days.
Yeah.
But, yeah, they find his body, but she starts telling him, like, oh, well, he was telling me about, like, this fucking, like, staircase. And everybody's like, oh, that's just fucking random, except for one person that they're like, that's what it was. And he tells the wife's like, well, it's not an official thing, but what I've heard. And I was like, damn, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah, but I want to see someone go on the staircase.
I don't know if you do. Maybe somebody you hate. Yeah, but it's just a thing. I want to see what your reaction would be to like a random ass staircase in the woods, and you had the most fucking horror movie idea of them all. Let me climb the random staircase in the woods.
I mean,
Would you go to the last house on the left?
as long as I had a gun,
Would you stay in that cabin in the woods?
as long as I had multiple guns.
I don't know, man. But it's shit like that, because you never think it's going to... That's why people are like fucking stupid-ass people in horror movies. But you got to think about it. To them, it's not a horror movie. To them, it's just another fucking day in their life. They're not playing anything going bad. Unless you're like Jamie Lee Curtis in like any of the Halloween movies. You're just kind of expecting... Yeah, you're kind of expecting the worst.
Come on, Jason. Come on out, you punk bitch.
It's Michael Myers, dude. Wrong guy.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it, you've let me down.
Sorry, it's been,
You've let me down more than my father has.
I got very shit sleep, so I am extremely fucking exhausted.
Dude, I feel you. We want to sleep late playing that fucking... What is it? The Exorcist on VR?
Yeah. Well,
That's for another podcast, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even there, I just couldn't fucking sleep. I kept waking up. Like nothing scary. I just couldn't get fucking comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we'll do some more digging and we'll talk some more about these staircases on the next episode.
Perhaps. Let's go to the fucking mountains to see if we can find a staircase in the woods.
I'm game.
I was kidding. I was fully kidding.
Well then, on his joking and being too scared to go into the forest to find a staircase, I think,
You're doing some real white people horror movie shit right there, and I don't like it. You are not gonna fucking goat me into this.
We'll see.
You got me to go to St. Luke's. I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah, we still need to find another haunted spot to go to, but that'll be coming. We're still working on a couple spots.
Might as well go into the woods and try to find fucking Slender Man, I guess.
I mean, I'm game with that too.
I bet you fucking would be. All right, guys. Till next time.